Hi friends, Mrs. Norton and Merlin here. We are back with our new story, Season of the Sandstorm. Merlin has taken over Morgan Le Fay's job of sending Jack and Annie on some missions. This time, Merlin is sending Jack and Annie to real life places in history where things really happened. They just returned from Venice, Italy, 250 years ago. Teddy and Kathleen gave them a book of magic rhymes, and Merlin wants to know if Jack and Annie can use magic wisely. So on their next 4 missions, one of which was in Italy, their next one is this time, we are going to find out what Jack and Annie, if they can use magic wisely. So let's get started with Chapter 1. Merlin, are you ready? Merlin, what should they write about today in their reader response journal? Oh, okay. Merlin would like for you to draw the characters and setting in this one. Do you think you can do that? He thinks you can. So in your reader response journal, I want you to open up. If you haven't picked up your packet yet, that's okay. You can just draw it on a page, or maybe you use the old reader response journal. That's okay too. All right, Chapter 1. Are you ready? Here we go. Chapter 1, The Golden Age. Jack put his math homework aside. He opened up the drawer beside his bed and pulled out a small handmade book. For the 100th time, he stared at the title on the cover, 10 Magical Rhymes for Annie and Jack, from Teddy and Kathleen. For weeks, Jack had kept the book hidden in his drawer, wondering when he and Annie would be able to use its magic again. The book's 10 rhymes were to be used on 4 missions, and each rhyme could be used only once. Jack and Annie had already used 2 rhymes on a mission in Venice, Italy. Jack! Annie rushed into Jack's room. Her eyes were shining. Bring the book. Let's go. You know where, said Jack. You know where. Come on, Annie called as she ran back downstairs. Jack quickly put Teddy and Kathleen's book into his backpack. He pulled on his jacket and took off down the stairs. Annie was waiting on the front porch. Hurry, she cried. Wait, how do you know it's there, said Jack. Because I just saw it, Annie shouted. She hurried down the porch steps and crossed the yard. You saw it? Actually saw it? Yelled Jack as he followed Annie through the chilly afternoon air. Yes, yes, Annie yelled. When? Just now, said Annie. I was walking home from the library and I had this feeling, so I went and looked. It's waiting for us. Jack and Annie raced into the Frog Creek woods. They ran between the budding trees, over the fresh green moss of early spring, until they came to the tallest oak. See? Said Annie. Yes, breathed Jack, as he stared up at the magic treehouse. Its rope ladder dangled above the mossy ground. Annie started climbing up. Jack followed. When they got inside, Jack pulled off his backpack. Look, a book and a letter, said Annie. She picked up a folded letter from the floor, and Jack picked up a book with a gold cover. Baghdad, Jack said. He showed the book to Annie. Its title was The Golden Age of Baghdad. Ooh, I wonder where that is. A golden age, said Annie. That sounds cool. Let's go. Wait, we should read our letter first, said Jack. Right, said Annie. She unfolded the paper. Merlin's handwriting, she said. She read aloud. Dear Jack and Annie of Frog Creek Woods, your mission is to journey to Baghdad of long ago and help the Caliph spread wisdom to the world. To succeed, you must be humble and use your magic wisely. Follow these... Wait, what's a Caliph? Said Jack. And what's Merlin mean, spread wisdom to the world? That's a big responsibility. I don't know, said Annie. Let me finish. She kept reading. Follow these instructions. Ride a ship of the desert on a cold, starry night. Ride through the dust and hot morning light. Find a horse on a dome, the one who sees all. In the heart of the city, behind the third wall. Beneath birds who sing in the room of the tree. Greet a friend you once knew and a new friend to be. Remember that life is full of surprises. Return to the treehouse before the moon rises. Merlin. This sounds pretty easy, said Annie. No, it doesn't, said Jack. All these instructions are so mysterious. We don't know what any of them mean. We'll find out when we get there, said Annie. But first we have to get there. Make the wish. Okay, said Jack. He pointed to the cover of the book. I wish we could go to the golden age of Baghdad, he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. All right, so we're going to illustrate Jack and Annie. They're in the treehouse. They're reading the book. They figured out their new mission is in the golden age of Baghdad. I want you to draw down below what you think the golden age of Baghdad would look like in the bottom box. That's your prediction tomorrow. Tomorrow, the title is Nowhere. Want to see a little picture? Predict what's going to happen tomorrow. The title is Nowhere. See you then for Nowhere.